everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to be painting an oval. I had an awesome request from Ritu that I do something oval. Well, I went right to the hobby store and I bought myself an oval canvas. Y'all, I gave it 2 coats of black paint, and then I let it sit for a couple of days, and now I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to put oval guidelines on an oval canvas. I know that typically my guidelines are about 1 centimeter apart, so I'm starting there and then I'm going to try to figure it out. I remember learning that you can use your compass to make 2 overlapping circles and then you connect them in a certain way. But y'all, I'm going to be making a lot of ovals here. That is going to be so much watercolor pencil on this canvas, and it would be so much tedious work. But y'all, if you want it to be perfect, look up how to draw an oval and you go for it. Me, I was looking for anything easy and fast because y'all know my patience level is kind of low when it comes to doing things like this. Well, I got out my DIY compass and I'm sitting here looking at this thinking, okay, I need 1 line, 1 centimeter line from the edge to here. How am I going to do that? I got out my dotting tool and I put it in the second hole of my DIY compass. I bumped it up right up against the side of this canvas. I put my watercolor pencil in the 1 centimeter mark, and I began rotating this canvas using that dotting tool as a little guide. And y'all, it worked. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, but you guys know me. It's not perfect. It's art. And I did this for as long as it would let me. I was kind of giggling at myself and I was feeling so smug that I found a way to do this. But when I got to about here, oh, it got so messy and it became unreliable. Y'all, I just know that if you have one of those big compasses, you could totally do this with your compass. And like I say, I know it's not perfect. Y'all know it's not perfect. Nothing I ever do is perfect, but this got me pretty far. After that point, when everything started getting really messy and I just finally admitted, JaDeL, you don't have a third hand to hold this thing, so you need to come up with something else. I just began to try to draw out the ovals. I was aiming for 1 centimeter rings where they're 1 centimeter apart all the way, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the lines on it. I know this is an unconventional way of doing this, and by all means, please feel free to do your own guidelines. Y'all, I just couldn't put a circle mandala on this oval canvas. I've seen it done so many times where you put that mandala right in the middle of your canvas and then you just kind of work to the edges. But I really wanted to do something different. Y'all know me, I'm always looking for something weird or new or whatever screams JaDeL, and this was it. So I am just dying to get started and see how this puzzle unfolds. Let's see what happens when we try to put a mandala on an oval. Oh, y'all, this is going to be so much fun. If you're looking for any of the supplies that I use in this video, please check the description. Y'all, there's a full video down there on how to make this DIY compass, how I normally do guidelines for circles, all sorts of helpful videos in the Getting Started playlist. Check that out. It's down in the description. There's also links for every tool I use in this video. If you see it on the screen, I'm going to try to link it down below. If I miss something, just ask me in the comments and I'll help you find it. If you have any other questions, ask me. I love talking shop with y'all. It is so much fun. I can't wait to see where this mandala goes. So I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to get to it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this so much. It has been a while since I got done with the mandala and I thought, wow, I truly think it's the color combination here. It is just beautiful. Aren't those colors wonderful? I think I really got lucky with that. Y'all know I normally don't. Anyway, I hope you guys like this one. I hope you give it a try. Don't forget, everything you need is down in that description. Go down there, check out my links. That really helps me out. And I want to give a special shout out to Diane C. who bought me the microphone I'm talking on right now. You guys, I am sitting in my house all air conditioned and cool and able to talk to y'all. Let me know what you think. Do I sound funny? Do I need to adjust the volume or all of these neat little metrics they have for me? Let me know in the comments what you think about the sound quality on this video. All right. Here is a full playlist on all of the mandalas that I've painted on canvas. I hope you guys go give them all a watch. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, and do everything that helps me out. And until next time, rock on.